Here we go now.
Tampa's in the building. Houston's in the building. Love it, love it, love it, love it. New York City's in the building. Brooklyn, New York is in the building. Seattle is in the building. What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday takeover. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let me know if you can hear me, see me, all those good things. Shout out to our YouTube following. If there are any sound streaming issues, one of the things to try before alerting me is swiping out of the app and then coming back on in. Just a heads up, because that's been happening a lot the last few months. Shout out to everyone. Orlando, or rainy Orlando. Does it mean rain's coming our way? San Bernardino is in the building. St. Kitts is in the building. What's going on? Toya, hey, Miss Serena. BMZ is watching from Birmingham, Alabama. What's going on? St. Louis, Missouri is in the building. And of course, I am live from New York City. I was going to say cold, but it wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be, but we have not officially warmed up yet. Birmingham, Alabama is in the building. We got a lot of Alabama people in the building. What's going on, Alabama? We got quite a few. Austin, Texas is in the building. What's going on? All right. Kansas City's in the building. Detroit. What up, doe? Jacksonville, Florida is in the building. North California is in the building. What's going on? If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know where you are watching from as well. You know, it's been a while since we've done a official Tuesday Takeover, but this is going to be a scaled back version of Tuesday Takeover. We won't be talking about 90 Day Fiance. We will be, covering a bunch of hot topics. We will talk we'll talk about a couple of hot topics that I want to talk about, but we always start a Tuesday Takeover with some good news. First of all, I dropped by the What Else Is Going On podcast with Taria Faizan. You may have seen that. If not, go ahead, head on over to her channel and watch it. It was a over 2-hour conversation of pop culture news, politics, and of course, some reality television. So be sure to check that out. That is available right now. Yeah, we got a lot of people from Alabama in the building. What is going on, Alabama? Callie says this is live. Yes, live. We are all here. Toronto's in the building. Oklahoma's in the building. Houston, Texas. South Florida. Boca is in the building. South Carolina's in the building. Nashville's in the building. Kentucky is in the building. South Carolina. Love to see it. Shout out to all of you. Again, we have a lot to get over. I wanted to start off with some good news. As I said before, I was on Taria's podcast. Be sure to check that out. You can watch it here on YouTube, but you can also listen to it on her podcast, where podcasts are streamed everywhere. So be sure to check that out. Also, yesterday was just full of good news that I wanted to talk about, just in case you didn't see it. Devil Wears Prada released their final trailer. As you know, the new movie, the sequel to the original, will be hitting theaters in May, and I am here for it. This final trailer, I'm not going to play it for you because, copyright. Okay. However, the final trailer really got me excited about where they're going in regards to what is the story going to even be about, So I'm excited for this. I don't know about you guys, but part of me is sort of like, I want to get dressed up and I want to go and see this movie. Okay. Meryl Streep, of course, Anne Hathaway. And a lot of, Stanley Tucci's in it, a bunch of of the people from the original will be a part of Devil Wears Prada. 2, I saw that Meryl Streep is on the cover of Vogue this month along with Anna Wintour. Okay. Is that the first time that Anna Wintour is on the cover of Vogue magazine? Remember, she's no longer the editor in chief. I mean, she still has influence over there. Is this the first time that she's ever been on the cover? I don't know, because I don't, read Vogue like that, but it's probably one of the very few times that she's been on the cover. So I thought that was really interesting. But I'm excited for this movie. Are you guys going to get dressed up and go to see Devil Wears Prada? Well, before you do that, make sure you guys go see You, Me, and Tuscany. Come on. With Halle Bailey, okay? And the reason why I say that, because you may have not seen the story where they're saying this other film director, this black female film director, said that Hollywood basically told her, well, we have to wait and see how You, Me, and Tuscany does before we can greenlight your black romantic comedy. Yes, that's how they're doing it in Hollywood. So You, Me, and Tuscany, first of all, I was going to go see it anyway because I love a good rom-com, and now a black rom-com, and we're in Tuscany. I was already sold. You didn't have to sell me, but now it's to help support another black woman trying to get her movie greenlit. Well, it's enough for all of us to go up, to go out and show up for this movie. We also have the Michael Jackson movie coming out this month. I never go to the movie theater, but you will never know this month the amount of times I'm going to be going. Did you guys see the drama with our girl Zendaya? I know her name is Zendaya, but we call her Zendaya over here. I always have to put that in there because people being like, her name is Zendaya Kempire. Have some respect. Oh. We can't have our love names for our faves? Okay. Deborah says, and go see the drama with Zendaya. I wasn't sure if I wanted to see it, but I've been hearing good things about it, so I want to go see it. I want to go see it. So we have things to go see this month, y'all. The drama with Zendaya. Then we have to see You, Me, and Tuscany with Halle Bailey. Then we have to go see the Michael Jackson movie. Are we dressing up for the Michael Jackson movie? I will not be dressing. Just because I'm like, okay, I'm not into the costumes and things like that. Okay. I have not seen the drama. I do want to go see it now because I've been hearing good things about the drama with Zendaya. Okay. Miss Parker says, I love a good rom-com. Me too. And that's why I thought I would like that recent movie that Method Man and Kelly Rowland did that was on Amazon Prime. I didn't like it. Ash says the drama is so good. Okay, see? Don't let me go see it today. I will go see it today. Okay? I might go see it today, y'all. If not, definitely maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, y'all. Okay. You guys are going to get your costumes for the Michael Jackson movie. I am definitely going to see the Michael Jackson movie. Michael Jackson is back in the news, but we're not going to even address that. Sidebar. I wasn't going, because I don't report on Kanye West, or Ye, as he says his name is. Kanye West. Apparently, he got a whole festival canceled. Do you know he was supposed to headline the Wireless Festival, supposed to be Kanye West and friends? Well, because sponsors pulled out, then the British government said that they weren't going to approve his visa, so they canceled the festival. Whoa. I'm being very facetious when I say aw. They canceled the whole festival because you invested in a man that has said derogatory things, not just about Jewish people, but his own people. But you want to hear those beats. Look, you want to hear those beats. Well, there you go with you and your beats. There you go with you and your beats. Okay? All right. But I'm here to give you the news. So they've canceled the Wireless Music Festival because Kanye can't make it into the country. Well, here's the thing with the Kanye of it all. For me, it's more about Kanye throughout time to see if he really means what he said in that recent apology. But I already have a feeling that Kanye is going to do it again and piss all of you off. And then all of a sudden, he's going to work on his next album. And he's going to need y'all to support it. And y'all fell right in line, all of y'all, including Lauryn Hill and Erykah Badu and all the other list of people that attended, and Chloe Bailey, all of y'all. Okay, exactly. Coco says he's not sorry. He wants to get paid, and y'all all fell for it because y'all want those beats. Y'all want those beats. Which is, look, at the end of the day, I never really truly believed in cancel culture, because at the end of the day, people are going to support what they want to support. And Kanye's a perfect example of that. People said he was canceled, but thousands of people showed up and watched him perform and paid to see him perform, and then streamed his music. So, and Deion Cole, yeah, a bunch of these people. I mean, there was a bunch of people, a bunch of celebrities. Scherzer says, "Not me, child." And look, at the end of the day, for now, we still live in a free country. You do what you want to do with your money. Okay, Ashley Everett too. I saw her there too. Could never be my friend. Anyway, you want those beats, right? Anyway. All right, I didn't even plan to talk about them. But anyway, let's talk about some good news. Let's talk about well, that might be good news. Kanye has already, I guess that's considered canceled, because his wireless festival that he was supposed to headline has been canceled. The entire festival is canceled. All right. Moving on from there, I have some good news that I'm excited for. Some of you might not be excited for this, but I'm excited for this. But I know some of you are, because some of you are my people, right? American Horror Story season 13 is officially happening. They started filming already, American Horror Story, and I'm excited for it. I am so excited for American Horror Story this season. And it's not because I love American Horror Story. It's because I love Coven. And I believe it was season 3 of American Horror Story where we got Coven. Well, shout out to our friends over at Pop Base. They posted this yesterday, and they started filming here in New York. American Horror Story. I'm so excited. Okay. All right. So the cast for season 13 of American Horror Story will include Ariana Grande, Sarah Paulson, who we love. She can play anything. She's a phenomenal actress. Sarah Paulson needs to take her acting to the big screen. I know she has in the past, but she needs to take her acting to the big screen because she's so phenomenal. So back to this. So Sarah Paulson, Jessica Lange, who's already an Oscar winner, Angela Bassett, who has an honorary Oscar, but should have won her Oscar. Should have won the Oscar for playing Tina. But anyways, I've digressed. Kathy Bates, Emma Roberts, Billy Lord, Gabourey Sidibe, Leslie Grossman, and Evan Peters are all going to be a part of season 13 for American Horror Story. Coven returns. I'm so excited. I've watched Coven like 3 times, and now that Coven's coming back, I feel like I need to rewatch it again. If you have not ever watched it, it's a little bit of it's called American Horror Story, so it's a little scary, but I don't think it's that scary, or maybe a little bit. No, it's a little scary. Never mind, especially when the devil arrives. What? Yes. Okay. But yeah, so Cute Potato says the way I squealed. I am so excited for this. So that is my good news for the day. American Horror Story season 13 has started filming here in New York City. I'm thinking by the end of the year, we will get the season. Ariana Grande, I just watched her in Wicked for Good. I understand why it didn't win any Oscars. It wasn't that great. The first one was far better, but it was still good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Wicked for Good. So now she's going to play, I'm thinking she's going to play a witch with real powers. Okay, the V-Light says, I can't do scary. I'm excited about Angela Bassett coming back too, playing the voodoo priestess. And we already know Angela Bassett's phenomenal. Please give Angela Bassett all the things for her role in this series. So I'm excited for this. So this has started filming American Horror Story Coven, The Return. We already heard about the rumors about them coming together, but they didn't confirm until now. So Coven returns. Look, we could have gotten like 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons out of just Coven. That's how good it was. Just saying. All right. I've digressed. Maureen says, I'm seeing Ariana Grande this summer. Oh, she has a tour, right? She has a tour, Ariana Grande? I just forgot about that. Ariana, you need to take a break. I hope you took a long break after, all the Wicked promo. Nikki says, I'm sorry, but Wicked for Good was so bad to me. I could see why you feel that way. The music wasn't that great. Okay? The music wasn't that great. Patricia says, Kempire, stop lying. Okay, King, Kirk King. Not you telling me to stop lying. She says, that damn show is scary. My last season was the one with Lady Gaga. I didn't you hear what I said right after? I was like, well, no, it is scary, because then I thought about the devil. Remember, I haven't watched Coven in a while, okay? So for me, it's in the distant past, but then I thought to myself, oh no, it's a little scary. It is a little scary. So if you don't do well with scary things, it might not be the thing for you. But if you have someone by your side, then do that. All right? All right. Moving on. So that's the good news for today. That's the only good news I got for you today, okay? Let's get into some of the hot topics. So yesterday we recapped Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did you miss it? If you missed it, you can watch it here on the channel. You can also hear it on the Kempire podcast. That's a more cleaned up version of our recap. So be sure to check that out. Subscribe to the Kempire podcast today. You can hear our thoughts on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm already seeing a lot of people's reactions to the premiere episode. If you weren't here yesterday, be sure to let us know your thoughts in the live chat or if you're in the replay. So I didn't see necessarily terrible things about Atlanta's premiere, but I definitely saw mixed things. But for the most part, I saw a lot of people were happy with K. Michelle and her performance. So, we had an informant that was at Pinky Cole. Yeah. We had an informant at Pinky Cole's premiere party. So Pinky hosted a premiere party for Real Housewives of Atlanta. However, she only invited Cynthia Bailey and K. Michelle. And according to our informant said, she said during this event, she only invited those two because they're the only people on the cast that she likes. And then I said to myself, that's not a good thing for Pinky. If she's on the outs with the majority of the cast, that's not a good thing. And I hope that she's able to find her way back, at least with a good majority of the cast by the reunion, because that's going to be important. But according to our informant, you may have heard when our informant called yesterday. I just gave you a little bit more than she mentioned. The other thing that she mentioned, though, was that everyone at the party were reacting to K. Michelle's lines. A lot of people thought that K. Michelle was really fun and funny on the premiere episode. I think so, too. I think she was great. I want to see more of K. Michelle and Charles Oakley hanging out. The way that they were having their little kiki with each other, they were so funny. I enjoyed that. Okay? So apparently, Pinky's on the outs with the majority of the cast. Exactly. L.H. Nelson. I thought she was good with Shamia. Well, remember, we only saw the first episode. We don't know how that relationship transforms later on. But wait, didn't they just do a promo together? So I don't know. Maybe Shamia couldn't make it. I don't know. I don't know if there was any clarification. But yeah. So, but still, that's not enough. Do we think that Shamia is going to make it past this season, our Countess of Cringe? I don't know. I was surprised that she came back this season. But I understand why she came back this season. I think they wanted to have more actual housewives this season, meaning like people that are actually married this season, because we have people paying people to be their boyfriends. Look, between Phaedra says she's never going to get married again, and she's still making us think that she's having fun with Chi-Chi. I don't think she's having fun with Chi-Chi either. But anyways, I digress. I think Chi-Chi's just happy to be able to get some sort of attention. They barely even show Chi-Chi. So we had that. We had Drew with the man in the phone with the ring light. Then we had Trey, who was Kelly's date. And apparently, according to Angela and K. Michelle, they were like, he's been with everybody. He's been with everybody in Atlanta. And then who else? Gerald is hiding upstairs in the what was Sterling Hall. He's hiding in one of those rooms upstairs in Sterling Hall. About he got stuck in Charlotte. No, you didn't. You upstairs. Okay. I'm sure after the cameras left, Gerald moseyed right back on downstairs. Just so much fakery. And then there's Porsha and Mike. So Mike, everyone is talking about this clip with Mike, and it's a skit. I don't know why we're running to the idea that that this is real, but it's some sort of skit that he does. He's an actor. We already talked about that yesterday. He is an actor. Mike is an actor. He was also on Ready to Love. Okay. But based off the body language, even if you guys didn't tell us he was an actor or on reality television before, based off the body language between Porsha and Mike, it was giving like we just met. Like the casting came and they decided that this was going to be the guy. I don't know if we're going to see Mike past this premiere episode. I don't think so. But fine. Okay. So there's this video skit that's going around that everyone's reacting to. So including Porsha. Porsha, I know you blocked me, but thank God for the shout out to our No Chaser TVs, our Bravo The Shade Rooms, our Queens of Bravo, our Bravo Stark Side, our OMG Reality TV, our Jay's Reality Blog, because I still get the information. So shout out to all the blogs. And if I didn't mention you, it's just because, I forgot. Okay. Monique says, not a skit. Let me show you guys what it is. We're going to play this under fair use. I might have to stop and go, guys, just to show you what Portia's man is doing.
I'm going to want to run something by you then. I think I got another play that can actually put some more brand in your pocket, or at least.
Sidebar. Thank you to the girls are talking Baddies TV on X as well for this clip.
Get your brand awareness out there, at least make you more of the money. I could probably sell it to them like that if you don't come with the bread. Or you build your brand. You think
Keith says, Portia's type isn't handsome, should have known. Right? I mean, looking at the history, looking at the history, she doesn't usually like a handsome man, but okay. And she also likes a man with a little change. You know what I mean? I don't know what Mike's money is doing, but if the only thing you guys can tell us that he's an actor, then I know the money's not that long. Is he in a Tyler Perry movie? He's about to be. Once Tyler Perry sees him on Real Housewives of Atlanta, he's about to secure his next Tyler Perry movie. Good for you, sir. I ain't mad at it, Mike. I ain't mad at it. So this is apparently some sort of skit where he's talking about doing reality television.
I'm gonna want to run something by you then. I think I got another play that can actually put some more brand in your pocket, or at least get your brand awareness out there. At least make you more of the money. I could probably sell it to them like that if you don't come with the bread. Or you build your brand. You thinking about have you thought about getting back into like television, TV, like another reality show?
Nah. Hear me out. Acting is my thing. Reality TV ain't my vibe, bro.
Hear me out. Real Housewives of Atlanta. I gotta play. One of my homies, one of the producers up there, and they need a guy. And if you get on there, we can help you build your brand up. That's more awareness, and now you at least value more. Now I can sell it to at least mentor it. That way, if you don't come with the money, I can at least sell you as the money. You come on there. All right. Come on there. It's most likely they don't put you as a love interest. Most likely.
Question, y'all. I've watched this a couple of times, and they said this is a skit. I've seen a lot of skits on social media before. I'm usually laughing. I'm usually entertained. This skit, I'm like, who wrote this? Look, even Tyler Perry's more interesting than this. Y'all seen Beauty in the Black? What? How is this a skit? Is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be drama? Janelle said, and Janelle is an actress, okay? She said, I thought skits were supposed to be funny, or at least dramatic. I'm trying to understand what this is. And this is probably why people are running with the narrative that this man, Mike, did this for reality television, that this was not real. Because they took this situation as real, because they're like, this can't be a skit. I'm not laughing. I'm not crying. I'm not emotionally involved. It seems like an interview. We're like, Krista says, we're waiting for the funny. Let me play the rest of it. We got 30 seconds to go. Here's the thing, too. It is 2026, and I get it. Not everyone's budget is budgeting. However, where are the mics? We could barely hear them. Okay.
You come on there now. You do your thing. Then we go ahead and pitch it to Mantra and say, hey, listen, now we got a face. Mike, you can mess around and be the face of Mantra, bro. Yeah. All right. I probably, I'm gonna talk to Dom. I mean, I don't know permission. I ain't Rafi, but
I am bored to tears.
I
am bored to tears. Bored to tears. I'm sorry. Look, where is the drama? Okay, where is the funny? Okay. So Porsha, as you can see here, posts and says, absolutely false story. This is a skit filmed after RHOA season. Look, Porsha, I believe you. I don't believe that your relationship with this man was real, though. Because everything that we watched and recapped yesterday didn't convince us like there was anything there. But she will paint the narrative. I'm dating. You know, I just got out of a divorce. I'm not trying to be serious with anyone. I'm dating. Okay, girl. It was giving fake, phony fraud. But if you want to run with that narrative, fine. Advice for Mike, though. Let's help Mike out, y'all. Because Mike is good looking, okay? And he's in Atlanta. And Tyler Perry's in Atlanta. And Tyler Perry, come on, let's be honest. I have to give Mike some credit. He was definitely giving better acting on RHOA than in this skit. I think he would do very well. He's good looking. I don't know if he is Tyler Perry's type. But Tyler Perry likes the good looking, tall, strong men. I mean, they're usually a little bit lighter complected, but I don't know. Tyler Perry it could just be those are the ones that are suing him. What? So, but he's in Atlanta. So let me set you up, Mike. Mike, what you gonna do? Because apparently this is how you can meet Tyler Perry. So the next Tyler Perry event where Tyler Perry's going to attend, you want to be one of the waiters there. And just look, make sure you wear something extra tight. Extra tight. And muscle showing, you know what I mean? Through the shirts, okay? And just some like, Mr. Perry, here you go. Here you go, Mr. Perry. Here you go. And then that's all you will have to do. You'll be on Beauty on the Black. You might just be one of the extras in the back for now. I don't know what's going to happen in order for you to get a speaking role. I don't know what you have to do to get a speaking role. I'm not getting an involvement. I'm not telling you to do anything. But if you're in Atlanta, I'm trying to help Mike out, y'all. Come on. Right? Ashley says he's not Tyler Perry's type. Singer DSC says, I can't helping Mike out. I think Mike's good looking, though. I think he's good looking. And I think he's not a bad actor based on what we saw in RHOA. And Brenda says, be friendly with Marlo. Even Marlo can't even get a date with Tyler Perry. Anyway. Poppy Choplin says, not Kempire the agent. I give good advice. Ask Taria. We talked a little bit about that on the What Else Is Going On podcast if you missed it, guys. Today's brought to you by our friends over at Bask Lather. I am always so excited when I can collaborate with a brand, first of all, that's Black owned, but also something that I know you all can benefit from and will love. That's why today's live is brought to you by our friends over at Bask Lather. So let me tell you a little bit about Bask Lather and how it even all began. As I mentioned to you before, it's a Black-owned business. When a dermatologist misdiagnosed CEO Shayna's younger sister and said her hair may never grow back, the family took things into their own hands, very much like Black people always do. Today, her hair is down to her hips. Shayna and her mother researched and formulated their own scalp and hair oil to stimulate growth and retain length. And I know what you're probably thinking. Kempire, what do you know about hair? Well, I said I'm going to find a product from this company that I can use. So for those of you, shout out to the guys that follow the channel, or maybe your husbands that are just listening earshot, They have beard remedies as well. So I've been using their beard shampoo, their beard conditioner, their beard oil, their beard magic, which is going to help fill in spots. I've been using it for 3 weeks. So if you see a transformation when it comes to my beard, you know it was at the hands of Bask Lather. So there are things there for men as well. But more importantly, I know that we have a large audience of women that follow the channel. So I love when we can bring a product that's going to benefit you. Let me tell you a little bit more about Bask Lather and some of the things that they have on their website. If you're looking for something when it comes to your hair, nourish and hydrate from the inside out with 100% natural ingredients. They have a nourishing hair balm for curly or kinky hair that helps reduce hair breakage and adds shine. When used regularly, users have seen results in about 3 months. Made with ingredients that can penetrate hair strands without clogging pores. Non-greasy formulation with no petroleum or lanolin. They also have hydrating hair mist. Keep any hair type soft and shiny and hydrated. Combines aloe vera and avocado oil to reduce frizz, treat dryness, detangle, and redefine curls. And I took a look at their before and afters, and you would be amazed. From people that have alopecia to dryness of hair to length. The length, I was like, well, maybe I do need to try it. They also have before and after when it comes to thinning hair and shedding of your hair. As I said before, there are multiple before and afters for men as well. These products are for both men and women. I never bring you something here where you can't benefit or get a discount. Explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair of all types from Bask Lather. Go to baskandlatherco.com and use code Kempire for 20% off. That's 20% off at baskandlatherco.com, code Kempire. More details on Bask Lather will be available in the description. Thanks to Bask Lather for sponsoring today's live. You guys are in the comment section talking about Mike's filmography. Okay, let me find out, Mike. People know who you is, Mike. They know who you is. Be Ready says Mike Bless is a decent actor. He worked with Will Packer and he was on Kings of Johannesburg on Netflix. I love that for him. That's amazing. Okay. Queen Shamama says, thank you to remember, I actually think Tyler would hire him. Yes, go put on the waiter costume. Just saying. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do in order to get to where you're going. And I'm not saying that. Well, I'm just saying sometimes you need to show up in the rooms where the people be at. Okay. Singer DST says maybe he can be Quad's new man. Gail says Mike has a lot of movies on Tubi. Okay. And people sleep on Tubi, but there's a lot of money being made over there on Tubi, and the Tubi streaming versus like Netflix and those things, they have a lot more people watching Tubi than some of these other streaming platforms. Again, because Tubi is free, but they definitely have a market there, and they have advertisers. So congrats to them. D. Nicole, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. D. Nicole says the storyline for Wicked for Good was good, but the songs were trash except for their duet at the end. I was boo-hooing. I agree. I was waiting for that. I was like, are we there yet? Yeah, I agree, D. Nicole. Thank you for the super chat. Latoya, thank you so much for the super chat. Latoya says, hey, Kempire, off topic. My son is getting deployed to South Korea today and would like the prayer warriors to send a prayer for him and his platoon. Thank you. I enjoy you and the community. Latoya, of course. Let's all take a moment and send good wishes to Latoya's son who's going off to South Korea and all of the other individuals that will be going to South Korea and other deployments that are happening in this country. Unfortunately, that probably could have been avoided, but here we are. Latoya, we will continue to pray for your son. If you're part of the replay crew, please send up a prayer for Latoya's son and his platoon as well. All right, let's move on. All right, I guess I'll get to Summer House and then I'll get to the quad of it all. Summer House. So, guys, I've been watching season 10, and I know, shout out to the Summer House stands and the Bravo universe, because you all getting your feelings. No, Kempire, you gotta watch season 8 and da-da-da. I think if I have time in between now and the reunion, I'm going to watch some of, at least the reunions of the last couple of seasons of Summer House, just to have some familiarity with some of the things that have been going on. Even though I do have a lot, I have more than some of you probably even realize. So I've been watching. I've watched all the episodes so far of season 10 of Summer House. So, and for me, it's really the same stories that are happening throughout the season. So I want to first start off with the newbies. How do you guys feel about the newbies? I feel like Ciara feels for KJ. I don't know if you guys feel protective of KJ. I really love KJ. And I'm sure you guys probably love him too. How do you feel about him with Dara, though? Because that's the last thing that happened on the last episode, is that Dara may have lied about being in, she did lie. She lied to Bailey about being in that room with Ben. Because there was something first brewing between Ben and Dara. But apparently she met KJ and they hit it off, and they've been together ever since. I think they're still together. But how do you guys feel about KJ and Dara dating? And I'm not even talking about the whole interracial of it all. I'm just talking about personalities. Because I did see the episode where Ciara talks about how her dating white men on this show, she's gotten a lot of criticism, especially with the way that Wes did her on the show. So I know there are some people that were like, I don't like the fact he's dating Dara because she, is she white? I'm assuming she's white. I don't know. Amara says Dara is sneaky. That's what I'm kind of feeling. Thad says she did, but it was before her and KJ got together, I think. That's what I'm wondering, because we also have to keep in mind, right now, the timeline is like Dara and KJ have only known each other like 2-3 weeks, and it's moving very fast and heavy. Sidebar, is Jesse mixed? I'm just asking. Some people, can kind of do the white passing thing, but is he mixed? Jesse? People were mad at me when I was like, I know Jesse's not perfect. However, I kind of like the vibe and energy between him and Ciara. And some of y'all were like, no, Jesse and Ciara. Okay, I didn't appreciate the way okay, hear me out. I'm jumping around. Let me focus. I'll get back to Jesse. Just let me know if Jesse is part of the fam. Okay. Foxy says Dara wanted Ben. Yes, but that never popped off. Oh, he's Jewish? Okay, Jesse's Jewish, I think. But that's still not answering. You could still be Jewish and mixed race. Just so I'm asking. Lana says Jesse is fine. At first, I didn't see it for Jesse, but the more I got to know Jesse's personality over these last 7 to 8 episodes, I was like, I'm kind of looking at him a little different. Anyone else like that? I know some people are very like, you have to look physically attractive. But if I get to know someone's personality, sometimes that makes me a little bit more attracted to them. He's still a little goofy to me, but I'm like, okay. Oh, Thad says no, he's full Jewish. Oh, so it's like a Joy Behar. Remember Joy Behar, her old photos, and she got a little bit of a fro? Okay. Oh, so if he's Jewish, then his Jewish mother wants him to marry a Jewish girl, right? Right. So, okay. So that's not going to happen. But Jesse really likes Ciara. I will get back to that because I have a lot of thoughts on that. And if you guys are just joining us, we're talking about the current season of Summer House. You guys can continue to give me some of the cliff notes in regards to things that have happened in the past. Okay. Deborah says Jesse is an F-boy. He's not that attractive to me. I think all of them are F-boys except KJ. Right? For the most part, all of them, even Ben. I don't think Ben is as innocent as he's trying to portray on this show. But anyway. But back to Dara and KJ. I don't feel like it's a big red flag that Dara may have lied about it because, again, are KJ and Dara even exclusive yet? And at this particular point in filming, they've only known each other 2-3 weeks. Yes, it's moved fast and heavy. I don't understand why he would even be upset or bothered by her being in a room with Ben because they weren't popping off. Did they even sleep with each other at that particular point? I don't even think so. So I don't think it's a big deal. For some people, they think it's a big deal because then it means like, is she always going to be kind of looking his way? We're watching Summer House. All of these people, I feel like, have the potential to hook up with each other. And did something happen between Ben and Amanda? And I will say this, as I'm watching, I actually am glad I'm watching it now after all the drama and hearing about the alleged timelines, because it makes you look at the interactions between Amanda and Wes very differently. Very differently. But I'll get there. How are we feeling about the other newbies? I don't even know who the brunettes. Hey, what's her name? I know Bailey's name, the blonde, because she's been. Anyone else annoyed by Bailey? I'm annoyed by Bailey. She's always bringing up her relationship from like 2-3 years ago, and I'm like, I get it. It was traumatic to you, but I feel like she's constantly bringing it up to everything and anyone that will listen. But she's also chasing after Ben. But she's saying now she's over Ben, even though they ended up making out during that game. I also feel like, okay, for those of you that are in your late 30s, 40s, or 40, like let's say you're in your 30s, 40s, are y'all still playing these high school games when y'all meet up with your friends and do all the things? I just feel like that is something we did when we were in college. Maybe, I don't even know if early 30s we were doing any of that. Okay, I'm not alone. Bailey is annoying. Lexi says Bailey needs therapy for real. Well, she couldn't flirt. She didn't know how to flirt. She had a crush on Ben. Her crush on Ben fell apart because Ben confronted her for making that comment about wanting to sleep with Amanda during her birthday festivities. She's a little awkward. So I found it interesting when some people have been saying, with the newbies, they see hope for Summer House extending, but I don't see Summer House thriving without the people that have been there. These newbies, I don't feel like could carry Summer House into season 11. I mean, I'm assuming Ciara would stay on Summer House, but I also don't want Ciara to stay on Summer House. I feel like Ciara could really thrive and do bigger and better other things. Like this is like the perfect opportunity for her to do bigger and better. So I really don't want her to see her get stuck in this wheel of reality television. Exactly. Angelique says, no, in my 40s, we're enjoying some wine and dine. And I'm not saying that we don't have a good time. We don't go out dancing. We don't drink. We don't do any of that. I mean, I don't. But I know friends that do. Lana says Bailey was spot on about them. What do you mean? What do you mean? Spot on about who? Specifically? About Amanda and Ben? Well, based on what we see for the preview for this week's episode, you might be right. But Bailey is a little annoying to me. What's the other lady's name? The one that she's always in bed with. Mary Jane's babe. Hey, Mary Jane, I feel like I haven't seen you forever. She says the newbies are weird. Except KJ. I like KJ. I feel like KJ is like, he's mixing with the guys really well. I love the fact that he owns, like, I'm not your typical guy in regards to, sleeping around. Like, he wants to have like a real emotional connection. I did get to see the conversation that Ciara, what's her name? It's not Maya. What's her name? The other black girl who keeps, her name is Levi, the brunette. Lord, what's the new black girl's name? I forgot her name already. Damn, sorry. She stands out to me, but I just can't remember her name. It's okay. I'm getting to learn everyone's names. I don't like the way I see Wes looking at her. Mia. Thank you. I don't know. I was thinking Maya the other, because I talked about this with What Else Is Going On, Taria, in regards to Mia. Thank you guys. I like her. I think she's a good fit. Doesn't she have a man? I don't like the way that Wes has been kind of looking at her and flirting with her. And okay, before I get to the West of it all, because I have a lot to say when it comes to Wes, let me go back to Jesse. So one of the biggest things that happened during this season of Summer House was the fact that Jesse told Wes, would you be upset if I made out with Ciara? And that information got back to Ciara. And at first, like, here's the thing. I'm going to twerk on the fence when it comes to this. I understand why Ciara felt a way about it, because she's constantly feeling like just a body in this house. That's how Wes made her feel. That's what that comment that Jesse made to Wes made her feel, like an object, like she's something to conquer on this show. So I understand her feeling that way. But at the same time, I also understood why Jesse said what he said to Wes, because that's his friend and he doesn't want his friend to be upset if something did happen. I don't believe that Jesse was joking about wanting to hook up with Ciara, but I also think that he wanted to pursue something a little bit more with Ciara, but he was downplaying it to West. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I think that Jesse was just saying, like, would you be upset if I, made out with Ciara? But I think he wanted more. But he was testing the waters with West. But that information gets back to Ciara, and she's like, if you want to make out with me, if you want anything with me, you should be coming to me and getting permission from me. But I completely understand, especially now with the Amanda and the Ciara and the West of it all. Now it kind of makes you understand, like, well, this is what Amanda should have done. If you were feeling things for Wes, you should have went to Amanda first, not go to Wes. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. And I still feel after that interaction after Ciara confronted Jesse about it, he was really concerned that it would affect their relationship, because at the top of the season, we're seeing them develop a closer bond. They're in bed with each other, but more like friendly. But you could tell Jesse has a crush on Ciara. You can definitely tell he has a crush on Ciara. How are you guys feeling about Carl? Carl seems like he's getting the nice guy edit, because there was a period when he and Lindsay were going through what they were going through that y'all were hating on Carl. So I do know that much, because y'all were mad at Carl, but y'all have turned over a new leaf. Bailey's trying to get with Carl now. I get it. That's the premise of this show. Everybody, it just kind of flirts with each other, hooks up with each other. But then I'm like, Carl, don't do it. Bailey has a lot of issues. I don't think Carl has his own issues. He's been very open about those issues. I don't think that's a healthy situation. And yes, Carl is a nice guy, but just because he's a nice guy doesn't mean that's going to be a healthy situation for the two of you. Janelle says that Carl doesn't have enough swagger for Ciara. And you could tell she likes confidence in a man, but we need to find her a man who's good looking and confident, not West and Austin from Southern Charm. Were people thinking that Ciara and Carl should get together? Like, there's too many men in the world. Let's not do that. Especially because Ciara wants a serious relationship. Ciara doesn't just want to hook up, which I can respect. She's also a woman of a particular age. Well, not that particular age, but she's now 30. She probably wants to have kids, I'm sure. I don't know. Yeah, this is true, which is why I was surprised. Today they made the announcement about In the City, right? They probably made the announcement while we're live about the new show that they already filmed. And they're, I guess they're going to probably release a trailer today about In the City. The Girls Club says Carl is a mess. At his grown age, he needs to evolve past the show. I was surprised that he was not going to be a part of In the City. Or is he? I didn't see him in the promo. Or at least them talking about it. I only saw Kyle, Amanda, and Lindsay. My friend actually went to Soft Bar in regards to his new bar that he has in Williamsburg that serves non-alcoholic drinks. I should go. I'm surprised my friend didn't invite me. Oh, no, he told me it was a last-minute invite. I guess it was like some sort of grand opening thing. Because that would be perfect for me. I'm like, let me go. Because, I don't be liking the drinks. Amara says he's not a mess. Who's not a mess? Carl? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Mela says Ciara has kissed Carl before. Okay. JJ says Carl is not a main cast member in the city. Oh, but he's going to be a part of it? Amar says he used to be a mess. Well, he's gotten his life together when it came to his addictions and things like that. Burn says, I heard it's actually a great spot. I'm going to have to check it out. Who wants to go with me? Naza Glow says Carl has phased out, not passed out. Lord. Sorry, Carl. Carl has phased out of Summer House. I mean, a lot of them have. A lot of them are damn near 40. And here's the okay, let me rewind time. For those that are just joining us, we're talking about Summer House Season 10. Can I just talk about decor? I know you're probably like, what? This house, it's a beautiful house. Who decorated this house? I heard the house is on Zillow. They're selling the house? This house, the Summer House house, they're selling it? This house, the decor is so tacky, and I get it. You got tacky people in the house. So you really don't feel like you need to put much into it. But I'm looking around the house, I'm like, who decorated this place? It is so tacky. JJ says, I will go. I would love me a cocktail. I know you would go, actually. We might have to do it, Janelle. Thank you guys so much for all the likes. We're almost at 400 likes. We almost have 1,000 people in the building. Do not forget to like the video. Today's our Tuesday takeover. If you're watching replay of this, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on everything that we've been talking about. I will add the timestamps later. I think I forgot for Friday's live, but I'll do that. I'll do all that today. I think I did forget for Friday's live. I got a lot to do. Eartha Kid, thank you so much for the super chat. Eartha Kid says, I'm here for you getting into Summer House. I know a lot of people wanted me to get into it. I have to say, I don't know if I would be into it going forward, like for season 11, but I'm somewhat in at this. I mean, I am. I watched all the episodes for this season so far, and I'm going to watch till the reunion because I want to see how the Amanda West and Ciara of it all is addressed. Nazagol, thank you so much for the super chat. Nazagol says, I honestly feel like Jesse likes Ciara, but is never serious or committed to a relationship. But I thought that he was, well, okay, you can say one thing, but your actions say another. So maybe his actions are saying he isn't ready for a serious relationship, but I could tell he really likes her. But Ciara also, I can understand why people really like her. She's beautiful, she's smart, she's level-headed, she's fun time, person. So I can see why people like her. Thank you so much for the super chat. Young Eartha Kid, thank you. Let me shimmy for the $20. Thank you, Young Eartha Kid. Young Eartha Kid says, the old clips from previous seasons catching Amanda holding Paige's ex's hand under a table. The West in our face BS. I believe it all at this point. In the words of Kyle Richards, you know what doesn't lie? The cameras. Ooh. Amanda. We're going to get to Amanda because that's another major sticking point for the season, Amanda and Kyle's relationship. But yeah, that's interesting, but I'm not surprised because I have to say some of the Amanda stuff, when you're watching it now, you're like looking like, their interactions, Amanda and Wes interactions after Kyle told her F you and she goes to the bathroom and Wes is in the bathroom with her and she's crying to Wes. Okay, and mind you, they're saying that this affair started before they went into the house this past summer. That's what they're saying. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure that will be asked at the reunion. But if that is true, I'm like, well, Deborah says, thank you for the super chat, Deborah. Deborah says Ciara would never date Carl because of Lindsay, which is fine. Like, why are we dating each other like this? Ew. Look, ew. Jay Mercedes, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me shimmy. Woo! Thank you so much for the super chat. Jay Mercedes says, I think a lot of it's them producing. Season 9 was Jesse and Ciara flirting the entire time while playing in Lexi's face. Lexi was someone that Jesse had dated, right? And they moved really quickly because they talk a little bit about that in season 10. And this is after Ciara and the West situation in season 9. Carl asked Ciara out at the end of season 9, and she said no. On top of that, West of it all seems like single survivor. It does feel like that, this show. It does feel like that. Oh, I didn't know Carl asked her out at the end. What happened then? What happened if he asked her out? She said no. She said no. Oh, that's weird. It's very incestuous. I don't like that. Not lip liner Lexi. Hilarious. Okay. Amara says that was a good shimmy, wasn't it? I was even impressed with myself. I was like, okay, shimmy. I'm a little loose today. I went to Pilates this morning and we did a lot of shoulder mobility, so that might be what it was. She really loosened my shoulders up today. Okay. Oh damn. They all trying to date each other. Janelle says Jesse tried to date Paige when he first joined Summer House in season 8. But she was dating Craig. Then he began flirting with Amanda in front of Kyle because Wes had claimed Ciara and Jesse wanted her to. Ew, I don't like any of this. I do not like any of this. But I guess production loves this because then you have all of this. Carrie says, wow, Kemp, you're a quick study. I'm very book smart. Y'all probably don't know that about me. I'm very book smart. Honors, I made it honors. summa cum laude in college. Yes, come on now. Dean's list multiple times. Just saying. I do my homework. I remember the things. I got elephant brain. Burn, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Burn says Amanda has been embarrassing herself since season 1, to be honest. And everyone has told me that. Let me get into that. Let me talk about Amanda and Kyle's relationship. If you guys are just joining us, we're talking about Summer House. Martha, why do I want to say Martha's Vineyard? Oh, damn. Oh, damn. No, we're talking about Summer House, the scandal that is Summer House, but we are unpacking season 10. Let me talk about Kyle and Amanda's relationship. And we talk astrological signs. These are 2 Leos. But watching this last episode of Summer House, and Kyle, because I think some people think because Amanda did what she did that people are making excuses for Kyle. No, Kyle is trash. Kyle is a trash human being. And he's a typical Leo man. And hear me out. Leos need to be uplifted all the time. And it's because they're very insecure. And I'm talking mostly about the men, because you can see the difference between a Leo woman, which is Amanda. She's insecure in her own way. And then there is Kyle. Kyle has a drinking problem, doesn't he? Has he admitted to that? Apparently not, because this is season 10. He seems to have a drinking problem. And I get why Amanda's like, why are you DJing? But he's DJing to make money because he's in such extreme debt with Loverboy. He's like, it's like over $2 million for that company. That company is probably going to go kaput and bankrupt. But him and the way that he's been treating Amanda like this from the beginning. But here's the thing. I don't feel sorry for Amanda. Because it's not like Kyle has not shown you who he is from season 1. You were a second choice in season 1. And you still decided to stay with this man and marry him. You thought he was going to change? Because in the moment he told you something good? So I'm not surprised. I think I was also surprised because I don't watch the show religiously, but I do know a lot of the drama. And I also was surprised when people said that they got married. I was like, they got married? Oh. Just based off what I heard about them, I was like, they got married? Well, all right. Okay, Leos, calm down. Calm down, Leos. But these 2 are exhibiting very toxic, unhealed Leo behavior. So that's important to note because there is the healed sign and then there's the unhealed sign. Amanda and Kyle are unhealed Leos. And what I saw in last week's episode, Kyle's talking about you never ask how I'm doing. You damn, Beautiful Jeb says Loverboy has never been successful. Well, clearly. Maybe successful in the Bravo universe, meaning like, oh, people know what it is. I remember seeing it at BravoCon. Didn't try it because I don't drink. But yeah, fine. That's a hard business to get into. Like the alcohol beverages, like that. If you don't have experience in that, but what I've learned is that Kyle does have a degree in business. Doesn't mean that you're good at business. And if you're drinking all the time, you're not making smart choices. So back to his business is not doing well. He's in extreme debt. Do you guys feel like the group is trying to gaslight Kyle into having some sort? Well, not gaslight Kyle. Gaslight Carl into feeling a way about Kyle not donating? Or should Carl feel a way about not donating, but investing in the soft bar? Because Carl invested into Loverboy $15,000. I don't think that he should. Why should you allow peer pressure to invest in something when you don't have the money? Unless he has the money and he's lying about it. But I feel like the group or some of the group are trying to gaslight Carl to feel a way about him not investing. But if you don't have the money, why would you invest in your friend's thing? Like, I don't have it. You had it when I was trying to launch Loverboy. Unless this is just a pattern of behavior over time where Kyle is not supportive of Carl. You guys let me know. Okay, Monet says Carl shouldn't feel away. Kyle is barely above water right now. Okay. Deborah says Kyle should invest. I don't understand. How is he investing, though? With what money? He says he doesn't have money. Mary Jane says Kyle started DJing for an excuse to cheat more. Well, I think that all comes together, and that's why Amanda doesn't want him DJing. And she did not sign up for him DJing, and that's why she doesn't want. He's drinking more, and when he drinks more, he makes poor decisions. I told you when I met Kyle, he was drinking then too. That was back at the Crappies. When was the Crappies? Not this last one, the previous one. So, and someone told me that that's the night that he ended up at a fan's apartment. I'm not surprised the way that he was talking to some of the ladies that were right in front of us. I was like, huh. I looked over at Brooke. I was like, ain't he married? Mind you, I don't really watch the show, but I know of things. I'm like, ain't he married? Brooke, ain't he married? And not that he was like crazy flirtatious. It wasn't like crazy obvious, but I was just sort of like, huh, you're a little friendly. Okay, a little friendly. Well, you bring up a good point, Foxy. I didn't think about this. You're right, Foxy. Foxy says he had money for that expensive watch that he got for Amanda's birthday. However, in all fairness, that's his wife. She's always asked for something. He could have put that on a credit card, though. And that's the way she made it seem. He put it on a credit card. I don't feel like he should feel pressure to invest into Carl's soft thing unless he was doing okay for himself. And maybe, I'm sure they're going to talk about this during the Summer House reunion. But if you don't have it and you're talking about you're in extreme debt, you owe millions of dollars, yeah, you could do it. And that's the thing. I do not want people, including everyone watching this, to feel pressure from your friends or family to do something that you are not comfortable doing, especially when it comes to your finances. Some of y'all do that with your family because it's pressure. You put yourself in debt because friends and family, that's your mother, that's your sister, that's your best friend. No, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Okay. You ain't got it. Just saying. Naza, thank you so much for another super chat. That's $20. Thank you. I shimmied for that. I honestly wonder if it brings up a bigger topic if people in relationships should complain about their spouse to the opposite sex. I'm glad you bring this up. I feel like emotional connections start forming and boundaries get crossed. You're referring to Amanda and West. Well, here's the thing. I also thought about this because in these last couple of episodes, Ciara has been expressing her disdain for the way that Kyle is treating Amanda. And I understand that, and I see a lot of friends do this. And then if you've seen a pattern with Amanda, she has been told since season 1 that this man is no good. She ends up marrying him. This is where friends need to see their way out of these conversations. And telling your friend you should separate or divorce someone, I almost clutched my pearls when I heard Ciara say, I was like, Ciara, you're doing a little too much. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you, but I'm not telling my friend that because you don't know if that friend is going to actually divorce them. And I know they're separated now, but you saw that with all the drama that's happening, Kyle's defending her. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't end up getting a divorce. And now you on the friend that they can't trust, they'll do it. They'll still continue because they want to film. But here's the thing. In an everyday life situation, do not get yourselves involved in people's relationships or especially their marriages. One way that you can support your friend, and I feel like Ciara could have said it without saying it, I want better for you. Anything that you need, even if it's a place to stay, I will provide that for you. But I'm not going to tell a friend to get divorced, to leave their partner, unless it's like he's like physically abusing, like, girl. And even then, you really can't do much about it until that person is ready to do it for themselves. You know what I mean? So I clutched my pearls, my imaginary pearls for a second. I was like, ooh. Elle says that's why you keep your friends out of your relationship. A lot of people don't. I would. I keep everybody out of my relationship. It's only for me and you. Janelle says, thank you for being a member, Janelle. Janelle says, Kyle is currently 43 years old while Amanda is 34. Amanda's 34? Excuse me? I thought they were the same age. 34? Oh, Ciara is 30 and just coming out of her Saturn return. I love it, Janelle. This chapter of Ciara's life is closing for good, and I'm happy for her. Oh. Cece says, we're all shocked too, Kempire. Okay. Break the Cycle says, will you review Coven? Maybe I will for Club Kempire, because that's where I've done some of the scripted recaps. Like I talked about White Lotus on Club Kempire. That's the Apple podcast. I can't say that I'll do it for YouTube, but I might do it for the Club Kempire. I dropped a new episode over the weekend, guys, for Club Kempire as well. You can hear that exclusively on Apple Podcasts. If you don't have an Apple device, you can hear it via the Apple Podcast website. Chris says she's got work done. What work did she get done at 34? Riz says that's a hard 34. Carrie says the Saturn return is so real, though. Yeah, I'm happy for Ciara. I saw Ciara also bought her grandparents' home and she's renovating it. In, was it North Carolina? I love a good home renovation, so I'm here for that. I am here for that. For Kyle being 43 and looking the same age as Amanda, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I have to say Kyle looks good for 43. You know what I mean? For 43. No, but all that drinking won't catch up with you, Kyle. I really enjoyed the whole old people party that they did. Ciara had the best costume. Hands down, Ciara had the best costume with those long breasts. And then she did the whole, but I guess she's really into doing all the costumes and things like that. For me, she had the best costume. But anyway. All right, what else did I want to talk about? I did watch, I think it was like episode 6, at the end of the episode where Ciara, Mia, and KJ talked about the Black experience and how they have to show up in the world, and everyone's sitting around listening to that. I thought that was really, really powerful conversation. I remember when it happened, so many people were reacting to it on social media. I loved that conversation. Especially because Ciara being the first Black woman in Summer House and what she's had to deal with, but being one of the few on a white show like this in the Bravo universe, people have no idea. She gave you a little glimpse, but I've spoken to other Black women within the Bravo universe and navigating that space, and it's not just Housewives. We're talking about Below Deck. We're talking about shows like Summer House, or just Black people in the Bravo universe. Y'all have no idea. You have no idea. She just gave you a glimpse of what that looks like. But I'm glad that KJ was there to have that. I think she also felt empowered having KJ and Mia there to have that conversation with the group. This is why so many times, I know people get in their feelings about Black people sort of like connecting on Blackness, but there's a reason, because so often we feel alone in regards to that experience, and people try to downplay that experience in this world. So I enjoyed that conversation. Let's talk about the Amanda West and Ciara of it all. Watching season 10, seeing the interactions between Amanda and Ben, Amanda and West, especially in these last couple of episodes, when Lindsay asked Ciara, are you open to getting back with West? And she seems hesitant to say yes. And Amanda chimes in, and Amanda's reactions, did you guys pay attention to Amanda's reactions? It's like, especially if the timeline is timelining that this affair with Amanda and West was happening before they started filming this last season. So I'm sort of like, just her reaction, her trying to downplay, like, well, if you're going to get back with Wes, you need to make sure that he is going to be, like, that he's going to step up, that he really wants this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you know? What exactly was playing out at this particular time? I know that's going to be a big question at the reunion. When exactly did it start? Because a lot of things will happen. Because the other story that we reported on a few days ago was that Ciara may have hooked up with Wes just a couple of months ago after summer. So if this was happening before the summer, there was some overlap in what was happening between Ciara and West and Amanda. Ew. This is why women get on prep. Get on prep. Everybody get on prep. Just saying. All right. So some of seeing that play out is interesting to me. Let me get back to the Jesse and the makeout of it all. So Jesse goes to West and says to West that, how would you feel if I made out with Sierra? And West seems like awkward about that. He's just like, because Jesse and West are friends. That, of course, gets back to Sierra. Sierra does not like that. But hear me out. We also see West and Sierra flirting with each other a little bit more. We saw in the last couple of episodes, West trying to be touchy-feely with Sierra. I feel, because especially if the timeline is timelining that Amanda and West were already having an affair at this particular point, I think West showing interest in Sierra was motivated by the fact that he was trying to call dibs on Sierra so that Jesse would stop getting close with Sierra and that they would potentially make out. I feel like that was his motivation behind flirting with Sierra. And I don't think he cares about the whole Amanda of it all, because probably at that particular point, maybe they were hooking up, but maybe they weren't serious. So it was okay for him to be hooking up with Sierra if that was something that was going to happen. Maybe. But I really feel like Wes's change of behavior towards Sierra was motivated because he was trying to, for lack of a better word, C-block. I can't say the word I really want to say here on live. I think he was trying to block Jesse and Sierra from anything happening there. Teresa said, "Yep, that's it, Kempire." I feel like that was his motivation. That was single-handedly his motivation. He didn't like the fact that Jesse said that, and then you saw all of a sudden this change in behavior towards Sierra. That's how I feel. Hold on. Angelique says West still had a girl in the Midwest. Oh, he got girls in all different area codes too? All right. Exactly. Lucky Star K for Life says it was a plan for Jesse to show interest. Lucky says West told Jesse to do that. You think? Well, then why would he ask for permission to make out with her? That doesn't make much sense. Byrne, thank you so much for the super chat. Byrne says, classic grifting, like we see in politics right now. Ooh. But, ooh. Thank you, Byrne. Young Earther Kid, thank you so much for another super chat. You just throwing the dollars at me today. Young Earther Kid says, Rachel Lindsay said on her podcast earlier, Kyle needs to come up with an ex-Loverboy merch and watch it sell. Brilliant, I agree. Carl is a mess. Merch is selling now, too. Oh, I saw that, the whole title, Carl is a mess. I mean, I would like to see Rachel host the reunion. She's moderated conversations at BravoCon before. She's watched this show since the beginning. She's done reality television. She's a black woman that's done reality television, that's dated a white man, married a white man on reality television. I would like to see Rachel Lindsay as the host of this reunion. And I already know Andy's just like, but it's my job. Well, if you're a real ally, Andy, then you'd be like, you know what? And that's the thing. Andy doesn't need this. You know, and I'm not saying that Rachel needs it either, but y'all know Rachel's divorce and what Rachel's going through. Is she paying that man stuff right now too? Rachel needs this. Okay, more than Andy Cohen. Look. Oh, I want to play the thunder. Rachel needs this. Rachel should, come on, can we just hashtag Twitter, do something. Rachel Lindsay should be the host. And again, she's in the NBC Universal family. She's hosted and moderated conversations for BravoCon. I want to see Rachel Lindsay be the host of this reunion. And I know the reunion is supposed to happen, I think, next week. Andy, no, I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to navigate this conversation the way that we need it navigated. And I'm tired of you hosting everything at the Bravo network. Why? You're not even in their age bracket. Look, it's like him hosting the Love Island. Like, you're not even the age bracket. Let Rachel host the reunion. And if you were a real ally, you would go to the executives. I think Rachel Lindsay should navigate and have this conversation. He has enough pull over there. Why hasn't he done that? Because of his ego. Look, I'm so mad about that. I'm gonna do a video later about it too. And I'm gonna get everybody riled up. Rachel Lindsay should be the one to host the reunion. No one else. I'm not considering anybody else. Rachel Lindsay. Shersa, thank you so much for the super chat. Shersa says, the amount of times I've had friends complain about their men just to go back to them. Ciara should just listen and nod and smile. Especially because Amanda and Kyle have been doing this for 10 years. So, yeah, I would not get involved. I would not tell her to leave that man. Because you saw it's already caused an issue between Kyle and Ciara during the season. Byrne, thank you so much for another super chat. Byrne says, I feel like there's a black BFF trope happening in real life here with this situation, and it upsets me. Ooh. Look. Angelique, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Angelique says, when I worked in reality TV, you can feel the racial gender divide, how we are portrayed, even behind cameras. I could see that. I can definitely see that. Guys, we're almost at 500 likes. Let me see what you guys are saying. Jen says, Andy looks so bored when he does reunions. He needs to pass the torch. Yeah, to a bunch of different people. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the update, January. But I'm sure she's still trying to get herself back into a good place. Rachel paid her ex in January, $500,000 paid in full. I know that's right. So let's get her back on her feet. I'm sure she's fine, but still. Anyway, thank you so much, Niche, for being a member and for the super sticker. I love that we can see the super stickers now. This is cool. Finally. All right, let's move on. Was there anything else that I wanted to say about any of these people? No. Excommunicado said that's probably where the Jamaicans get it from. Shout out to our African ancestors. Excommunicado says, Kempire, that hiss was so African parent coded. I know. I'm sure. Oh, man. She paid the chiropractor. I know. Nina Parker would be a great reunion host for RHOA, RHOP, and Summer House. Not going to lie, Kai says. People always say her because she has the experience, too. Nina. All right. Let's move on. Where do I want to go? Let's talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island, then I'm getting out of here. Oh, wait. No, before we get to Rhode Island, let me talk about Quad. So Quad is back in the news, y'all. So Quad's makeup artist is defending her and slamming Kirk King. You remember, yes, we've already talked about this. I'll play this clip for you again, where Quad is talking about King during her interview with Carlos.
Very positive, have a positive outlook on it. And when God says it's time, it'll be time.
How did you feel when King made the comment under our post when you spoke about the breakup and how he announced it first? Because a lot of people felt that we only know you because of Quad. So because Quad introduced you to us, give that woman the right to introduce to us that y'all broke up. He left the comment under the post saying for you to be careful before he starts speaking out about some stuff and exposing people.
I don't know what he could expose because he doesn't know anything about me. However, I will say that I'm wishing everybody to just be happy. You know what I'm saying? I want him to move forward and be happy. I want Quad to be happy. I do think they had something very special. I did think highly of him, and I still do. And I hope he lives his life amazing, just like I see Quad living an amazing life as well.
I think that's well said, Heavenly.
When was the last time that Kirk has reached out to you?
It was recent. Very recent. Maybe a few days ago.
Saying what?
I don't. I don't. I don't indulge. Listen.
Did you respond back?
I don't indulge. You know, here's the thing. I'm all in when I'm all in. I'm so in. When I'm all in. Sometimes I can even be blinded that I'm so in. So when I'm all out, kind of all out.
Do you, not to belabor,
Y'all know Quad has been through a lot this season, okay? Quad has been through the trenches, okay? She's been through the trenches. So King at the time posted in the comment section, stop lying. He says, I asked to end the relationship and haven't had a need to contact you. Stop trying to make yourself look good. These curated interviews and PR stunts are laughable. You have them in controlled environments with your friends, not with a real journalist that will question you. The performance goes on. He then says, and no, it wasn't mutual or amicable. That was another performance and PR stunt. You may recall, Quad did not attend the reunion with King there. And they did ask about, why wasn't he there? Toya revealed that he wanted to be there. Well, then yesterday I saw that Quad's makeup artist was in the comments section and said this about King. Hold on, let me bring this up. Hold on, let me bring. Boom. Okay. So this is what the makeup artist had to say. So the makeup artist says this. Wow, to see you, she asks King. She says, wow, to see you get on here and lie to these people in the comments is diabolical. I've sat back and watched you try to embarrass her at every turn, and this really needs to stop. I know the truth, she puts in caps, because I was there, and let's not forget the 4-hour three-way call that you wanted to have. I witnessed you firsthand gaslighting Quad and trying to manipulate her just so that you could, quote, win. Shaking my head. Honestly, this is just sad because I didn't even think that you could be this guy. Quad has wanted nothing but peace and for you to both to move on. And I was high-key glad when she stopped responding to you as a whole. I'm only commenting because it's exhausting when you know the truth. I'm tired of seeing this narrative you are trying to spin against her to stay relevant. She then says, to keep it all the way real, I was there for all of your back-to-back crash-out messages when you realized you no longer have access to her. Check your phone. Clearly, you are forgetting about February 24th, to which what you are saying she's lying about. But hey, I was just observing and painting. Here's the thing. I've noticed a pattern with Quad. Quad will do an interview like with Carlos, who is a friend. She will use bloggers that she's friendly with. She will have her makeup artist speak for her. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Am I a huge fan of King? No. However, I still felt like it was fair to have him at the reunion. You used him, gaslit him when your ex-husband was on the show. Then you used him again for this last season. I think it was only fair to have him at the reunion to tell his side and then be done with it. If he kept on talking afterwards, then I'd be like, okay. But you didn't even give him an opportunity to speak his side. You control the narrative. And dare I say, I think you may have blindsided production. I think production thought that King was going to be there, hence why they put you by Andy Cohen. And I think I think they wanted King there as well. And I also believe that you guys would have had a 3-part reunion if that would have been able to play out during the reunion. So apparently King also responded. Where's King's response? I know I had King's response somewhere because King also responded to the makeup artist. And here's the thing too. The makeup artist, I feel like, would not feel emboldened to say anything without Quad giving her permission. Right? Because there's no way as a makeup artist that you're responding on someone else's relationship without permission from the person that employs you. Right? Especially the way that she responded, revealing all those details. I was like, there's no way that you did this and want to keep your job without getting permission from Quad to actually speak out and say something. But as I said to you before, I feel like Quad has a pattern of behavior where she does that. She sort of puts stuff out there, has other people do her dirty work for her. So King said this in a response. Let me bring up the response for you guys because I forgot to actually upload it here. So this is what King said in response to the makeup artist. Hold on. So King says this in response. He says, he at Marlissa Monique, who's a makeup artist, says, again, PR stunt. How much did she pay you? You have no clue what actually transpired or when. I haven't mentioned her or said anything negative about her. If no lies are told about me, then I won't have a reason to point out the BS. She can she can speak for herself. And if she wants to disclose or text threads showing when and why we communicated last, I'm okay with that. It's all in black and white. No need for these BS games. I thought that's important. Because when you think about it, if he's saying she could share all of this on social media, our text exchange, and he's not worried about what those texts are going to reveal, expose the text. Expose the text. I want to see the text now. If what Quad is saying is true. So this was King's response to the makeup artist. As I said to you before, it stood out to me that the makeup artist spoke out. Because again, as a makeup artist or someone that's working in that world, you're not going to be going on social media responding for the person that's employed you. I don't know if this makeup artist has signed an NDA, but that would definitely be going against an NDA. So for me, that just confirmed that Quad gave permission. Yeah, yes, girl, respond for me because right now I'm in the trenches. I just don't have it in me. To respond. Because I'm still in the trenches. I'm still in the trenches, y'all. I'm still in the trenches. Well, while she's in the trenches, we're going to get a Factor meal because I was hungry. Okay, I get it. It's not a new year, but it can still be a new you. As you know, we've partnered with Factor many, many times, and this is no different. But let me paint a picture for you. Hunger strikes, and you're exhausted. I know it. Especially on a busy day. There's something healthy in your fridge or pantry that you should be making, but you don't have it in you. Relatable, right? For me, eating healthy isn't a willpower problem. It's a setup problem until I found Factor. As you know, I have a busy schedule. Sometimes there's breaking news and I do not have the time in me to cook that meal or prepare for that meal. With Factor, I'm hitting my nutrition goals this season without the planning, grocery shopping, or cooking. What I also love about Factor is that you're getting great quality meals, dietitian approved meals. Factor has meals built around your goals, whether that's weight loss, overall nutrition, more protein, or GLP-1 support. For strength and workout recovery, check out Factor's Muscle Pro collection. As I've mentioned many times before, Factor meals are crafted with functional ingredients from lean proteins, colorful veggie, whole foods, and healthy fats. Factor bans 175 plus ingredients, no artificial colors, no sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup, and no refined seed oils. And most importantly, convenience. Ready in 2 minutes, Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers straight to your door so you have more time for everything you love this spring. Head to factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. See website for more details. More details on Factor and your discounts will be available in the description. Thanks, Factor. Was that a good transition? You guys like that transition? LS says trenches equals Factor meals. Yes, come on now. Joya says King should release the messages. Get out of the trenches. Get us out the trenches. Please, yes, get us out the trenches. If you want to send those text messages to me, King, I'll take them. Come on, King. All right, Jay Mercedes, thank you so much for another super chat. Let me shimmy. Come on, loose shoulders, loose shoulders. Jay, thank you so much for the super chat. Jay says the trailer for the Insta City dropped. Wes and Amanda are in it together, of course, with Amanda being righteous to Danielle about her dating a married man. Trailer is giving the Valley for East Coast. Don't see this being canceled. I wonder if let me see if I can play it for you guys. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the Summer House trailer. And then we will get into let me see. We will get into Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's 3 minutes. Hold on. We're going to have to stop and go, y'all. Please hold. Pause. All right. I don't know. Now I'm seeing from this trailer, just from the first clip, I'm like, is this a scheme that Todd set up for them to come to us with the BS? Okay, let me play this. Jay says, we always love a good shimmy. I mean, my shoulders are loose. Pilates helped that this morning. Okay, let me play for you guys, and then we will get into Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I will add the timestamps later, y'all. I'm going to have to get me a timestamps person in the chat because I can't keep up. I can't keep up. All right, let me play for you. The In the City trailer for season 1, as you know, this is a spinoff from Summer House, has been released by Bravo. So let me play for you. And they're opening with Amanda and Kyle's wedding, I guess a flashback.
I promise to make you
from 2021 when they got married.
To make you laugh, probably make you cry.
You had a kid with a guy after 2 months.
It sounds like you're judging me.
Blog called me a homewrecker.
Is that true?
Go yourself.
Oh, wait a second. Danielle, wait, is Danielle going to be in the city too?
Nick, are you married to Yvonne or not?
Yes. That's not what
Oh, I guess she is. Okay.
the boys' night.
Bombshell news in Summer House's Kyle and Amanda have broken up.
So what happened?
Are you ready for this?
This season on In the City.
Milk's night out.
Did that guy just burp on me?
Summer should be fun, even in the fall.
Hey, cutie.
Hey, Mandy.
Oh, so we see Amanda and Wes meet up in this Summer House in the City trailer. Oh my God.
We're all trying to figure out how to be real-life adults finally.
Want to borrow some pants?
My children.
I will say this. I might get into In the City just because I love anything based in New York City. You know how I feel. Deborah says, I can't stand Danielle. Oh, damn. I don't really know Danielle like that, y'all. I just know she's been on the show, so I thought it was interesting that she's going to be a part of this.
Dog treats.
I don't even know what kind of condoms to get. Ask your ChatGPT.
What do people wear these days?
But we're basically tripping everywhere we go.
I could faint over Botox in my ass.
In your butt?
It's called butt talk.
I want to put a baby in you.
I get sore too.
Oh, I remember him from the original, Summer House.
You guys are done. He lifts you up.
Like a prosciutto.
Can't believe my stuff's gonna be here this week.
She moved across the country before the ring.
I'm getting I Hate Men vibes.
I got you a little something.
You know what that's called? Manipulation.
You can only get pregnant for 12 hours.
I thought about our conversations around having a baby.
Something that I've wanted my entire life, a family, that was taken away from me.
I'm choosing partners that continue to abandon me. And it's made me feel like
I mean, can we talk about Lindsay really quickly? I'm not surprised that her relationship with the baby's father fell apart because I feel like that was a very quick relationship after being engaged to Carl and how that ended. Am I wrong? I mean, I don't care if I'm wrong or not, but do you get what I'm saying? I feel like that was very giving much rebound.
should be ashamed.
I've never been happier in my entire life. Meanwhile, he has a whole ass wife still. Lindsay, it's
Danielle's involved with a married man?
internet sleuth on my man.
Christ!
I'm also still mad that you wore a white dress at my wedding.
It's pink, you bitch. Everyone bows down to Lindsay, and I'm sick of watching it.
You're supposed to be my best friend, and you treat me like shit.
Stop running your mouth. I'm gonna leave right now because you're talking to a wall. I'm not a wall.
You move.
Here's my problem with any time Bravo does anything with New York City. Why is it so white? I don't get that. New York City is the most diverse city in the entire world. And I'm not saying that they need to add just one black person. It's the most diverse city in the world. I just don't. This is why I might not watch the show. It's the most diverse city in the world. And it's just like, huh? And then here's the thing. A lot of the friend groups here in New York City are very diverse too. Okay, but all right.
Your whole life here for him. I will move it right back out.
Have you been lying to me for years? You're the Bernie Madoff of hospitality.
Who was in
Not the Bernie Madoff of hospitality.
apartment last night while I'm asleep? You know how many times you cheated on me?
I think it's wrong. Lay off me, dude.
I'm in tears watching my friends demolish their relationship.
You don't have a prenup.
But if you come for me, I'll come for you.
That'd be a little. Ooh, that's what Amanda says to Kyle. But just cheating. I mean, he's cheated so many times on her. So look.
I have a baby daddy, an ex-fiance. I absolutely need therapy.
Everyone needs therapy.
Especially in New York.
We're all
In the City. New series May 19th.
May 19th, In the City. I like the idea of this show. I love any show based in my city, New York City. Let me just show you the picture. There are some possibly black people on this cast. But again, we live in New York City. There are black, there are Hispanic, there are South Asian, there are Asian. I'm like, y'all, for me at this particular point, especially when you're basing something in New York City, it's intentional. You're intentionally being obtuse. You're intentionally not trying to be a diverse cast. So this is the cast. For those that are watching on YouTube, podcast folks, you'll have to go to my YouTube to see the cast. But this is the cast for In the City. That's coming to Bravo, the spinoff from Summer House. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. Storm said, I read this literally in Randy Jackson's voice, Storm. Storm said, it's a no for me, dog. You gotta be an American Idol, Randy Jackson. OMG, it's a no for me, dog. I need to put that on my soundboard because that's such an iconic. I can literally hear it in my head. All right, fine. In the City, new series, May 19th. Just when I thought I might be able to get into it, no. I hate the whitewash of my city. I can't. Never mind. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Then I'm gonna get out of here. I've already been here for an hour and a half. Okay, so let me talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island. How are you guys feeling? The second episode came out right after Real Housewives of Atlanta this week. That will be when they're infiltrating Black Sundays. I can see that Bravo's becoming very... They're even taking our Black Sundays away. That's all right, fine. I mean, very much like the country. Taking all our rights away, fine. Whatever. So, but I'm enjoying Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I think that it is a solid return. The ratings for Real Housewives of Rhode Island were really, really good this past week. How much were the ratings? Hold on, let me tell you exactly what their ratings were this week. What is it? Ratings. Let me see. Shout out to Ratings Bravo on X. This is where I'm getting their ratings. So the ratings for the premiere episode for Rhode Island was 465,000 viewers. Remember, but their demo was 0.08 in the 18 to 49 demo, which is ideal for advertisers. Low demo, not bad, but not bad in viewership for live viewing. And if you see the Peacock, says that they were like number 3. I don't know if I believe that. I do feel like, because we don't see the actual streaming numbers, but I do see a lot of people talking about this and enjoying Rhode Island. Speaking of which, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had 766,000 viewers with a 0.12 demo this past week's episode. And this first episode of Rhode Island came on after. So they got a nice bump from Beverly Hills. So that's, 465,000 viewers for a new Real Housewives show. That's pretty damn good. You know? So I think that was really, really interesting. I don't know what the viewership for Atlanta, or that has not come out yet. I will talk about that maybe later on this week when we go live again. But yeah, Foxy said Ladies of London is the best show right now. Ladies of London is doing very well. Speaking of Ladies of London, their viewership though, which for me, for a new show like Ladies of London that doesn't have the whole Real Housewives movement behind it, did decently. They have 233,000 viewers for this past week's episode 6, with a 0.04 demo. Pretty low. Here's the thing, Family Karma. I know you're probably like, what? Family Karma, go back and look at their ratings. Their ratings weren't as bad as Ladies of London right now. I'm a little shocked. I was shocked when they decided to put it on pause. I don't understand why they decided to put it on pause. The ratings for Family Karma did really, really well. But anyway, so the first episode of Real Housewives of Rhode Island did really well. 465 viewers, 65,000 viewers. So, yeah. Storm says, Ladies of London and Real Housewives of Rhode Island are my top 2 shows on Bravo. I think a lot of people are feeling it. I think what's working for Real Housewives of Rhode Island is that you're getting to see a real group of people that are connected. I wouldn't say they're necessarily a real friend group, but there's real connections amongst this group. So let's get into the second episode. If you missed it, we did recap the first episode on Friday. So be sure to check that out on our Friday Live. I'm going to get back to doing the timestamps for that as well. Okay. But Real Housewives of Rhode Island, we first start off with Liz and Jerry. I feel like a lot of people are loving Liz. Liz is the one that looks like Dolores. Okay, Liz, where's my picture of Liz? Liz is all right here. This is Liz. She looks like Dolores. Okay. And I feel like I know everyone now. I know who everyone is. I mean, I might forget names here and there, but for the most part, I remember who everyone is. Kai says RHORI, as we're gonna call it. RHORI is organic. Yeah, because there's real connections amongst the group in family history, it feels like. So Liz never had children of her own, but her husband, Jerry, who she's related to, not that related though, y'all. Like, you have to go years back, like to her great-grandmother or something like that. Or not even great-grandmother, probably great-great-grandmother. So to go all the way back. She said she always wanted kids of her own, but Jerry's kids fulfilled that for her. So we see Jerry's kids come over. One of Jerry's daughters is pregnant. So she's looking forward to being a grandma. She said, but do not call me grandma. Don't, call me Gigi or something like that. Liz also revealed that she had lost her mom when she was just 15 years old, and she lost her dad shortly before she got married to Jerry. There's some more stuff that happens later on in this week's episode of Rhode Island that you're sort of like, wait, there's a little bit more going on when it comes to Liz and Jerry's relationship. But this first scene just gives us an idea of of a little bit of her family life, a little bit more of her storyline. So she never had kids of her own, but she raised Jerry's kids because the mother, for some reason, they never really revealed what happened to the mother, but she wasn't able to be involved. So she's raised these kids, which is very much like a mother. It's, just because you give birth doesn't make you a mother, or just because you donated sperm does not make you a mother. Foxy says that Foxy Feline says that forefathers were related. The fact that she mentions that is why people are like, what? All right. Then we get to Ashley and Joe Ellen at the park. Ashley, first of all, Ashley and her baby in the swing at first. I was like, get that baby out that swing. That's not working. That's not meant for that size child. Then she's crying because she's emotional because her and Jared, they're good. They seem like they have a really beautiful relationship. I saw that Jared went on social media talking about when Ashley mentioned that she was going to be on the show. His little love letter to her on social media was really beautiful. They seem to have like a really beautiful relationship, but she's really emotional because she knows that he's not happy with the way things are going with this coffee shop because he's putting a lot of time into it, a lot of effort. They're not making a lot of money from it. So she's unhappy that he's not happy. So she gets really emotional talking to Joe Ellen about it. Joe Ellen at the top of the scene talks about the similarities that she has with Rosie. And she's like, she's photogenic. I can be sometimes too. Joe Ellen for me is funny. Like the people that stand out to me that make me laugh on this show are Joe Ellen. Let me show you because I have to show you guys pictures because I know you guys are still confused. She's like the little Teresa. And her husband reminds me of Joe too. So there's Joe Ellen that I find to be funny. Liz is funny because you never know what she's going to say, what's going to come out of her mouth. And then there is Alicia. Alicia cracks me up as well. Alicia has some deep connections with this group as well. She has deep connections with Liz. She has deep connections with Joe Ellen's husband. But for me, Alicia cracks me up probably the most because you just never know what this woman's going to say. She kind of reminds me of a Mary Cosby in a lot of ways with some of the things that come out of her mouth. So Joe Ellen talks about her issues with Rosie, but she's like, we should really like each other. We're both brunettes. She's photogenic. I can be sometimes. And I was like, what? What is going on? So Ashley talks about the stress of the coffee shop and what it's putting Jared through. But I'm so just focused on the baby's crying, she's crying, like she's struggling. But I like the conversation between Joellen and Ashley because they seem to, even though Ashley's close with Rosie, it seems like it hasn't stopped Joellen and Ashley from forming a friendship. But Ashley was like, she's a little scared of Joellen because Joellen, she can be a lot. Taurus Moon says Joellen has a big head like Teresa. Do you mean figuratively or actually literally? All right. And not a lot up there in regards to head. Just say. Okay. So Ashley talks about that, and she's very emotional about Jared not being happy. So that seems to be what's going on with them in their storyline. But they're still trying to make sure that Jared wants to make sure that Ashley understands his unhappiness has nothing to do with her, but it's affecting her. So in this next scene, we get to meet Rula for the very first time. Rula is interesting because there's a lot going on with Rula. Was she half Syrian, half Lebanese or something like that, she said? So Rula arrives and she's meeting to have lunch with Kelsey and Liz. There's been more information that's come out about Kelsey. Remember, Kelsey's the one. Let me show you pictures again. Kelsey's the one that looks like Rosie. She looks like Rosie, but she's also in a relationship with a man that she sees 6 months out of the year. But she gets to stay in this big, fabulous home that has full service and in-home maid or housekeeper. And apparently we find out at the end of this episode that she has her own boyfriend as well. Here's the thing that I don't get with Kelsey. You're talking about this openly on the show, but you are acting sensitive about it when other people talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand the sensitivity when you are basically, it's like known to the entire world that you are in this relationship, this polyamorous relationship, I guess. Funky says, who is the man? We already told you who the man was. Let me show you who the man is. Because apparently this is on social media. John Caprio, who also dated Paula Abdul, apparently. Here's a picture of Kelsey with John. His father was a very popular judge in Rhode Island, a very popular judge across the country, known as the nicest judge ever. So they said. Mary Jane says Kelsey is a sugar baby. I agree. She's a sugar. But I also think there's a lot going on. I think there's a lot behind the smile that Kelsey's giving. Because she met John when she was only 19 years old. She revealed in this episode that she lost her virginity at 14. I'm hearing things, I don't know if this is true, that she may have been a lady of the night. Is that how she met John? And then John decided, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your, he's been taking care of her for 10 years. So now I'm thinking to myself, like, there's something a little more dark behind that smile that we're getting from Kelsey. Exactly. Kai says Kelsey's low-key a victim. Because she was 19 when she got with John. She said she lost her virginity at 14. And look, this might lead us to a conversation. When did you lose your virginity? We talked about this. What was it? Married to Medicine, we were talking about this. How old were you when you lost your virginity? Ashley says she lost her virginity at 29. Did Yvonne Orji from Insecure lose her virginity yet? Because she's like 40-something years old. And she hasn't lost her virginity. Way of Key says, what in the Epstein Island? That's what I was saying. I feel like there's something dark going on when it comes to what happened to Kelsey. So I don't know. Funky says Kelsey gives Kim Z vibes. But here's the difference. Kim Z was a grown woman. Kelsey was 19 when she met John. Danny says 14 is young. Mr. Melon Magic says I'm still pure.
Lies! The lie!
Sure. Look, sure. Angel says he got money. She got a full-time housekeeper who pulls the seeds out of her lemons. Yeah, Kelsey. Monkey says that Yvonne's still a virgin. Well, good for her. Look, good for her. Paint These Wings says, I was 19, look back thinking that is too young. Can't imagine being 14. So I'm not the only one that felt like when she said 14, I said, that's quite young to be losing your virginity. And it makes me wonder, I kind of want to dive into like, what were the details behind that? Was that also an older man as well? Just wondering. But okay. Taurus Moon says, again, groomed. Ms. Brown Sugar says, that's heartbreaking, honestly. 14 is a child who doesn't have any capacity to make good decisions, whether with a same age person, peer, or worse, a predator. That's why I kind of want to know, was there, you know, who was it that she lost her virginity to? Courage Jones says, Kempire, I was paying close attention to see how she treated that maid. And what did you I was paying close attention too. And I couldn't say that maybe because she's being filmed, she was nicer, but I wouldn't say that she was super nice. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like they were super close either. Lexi says, Kempire, if the person was older, we're looking at legal issues. I agree. I mean, even if they were 18, I'm like, or 17, I'm still like, I don't know. What in the Wanye Morris is going on? But okay. All right, let me move on. So Liz and Kelsey sit down to have a conversation with Rula. So this is the first time being introduced to Rula, okay? They say that Rula is very calm, monotone. She lives a certain type of life. Rula doesn't understand why Kelsey and Liz are hanging out with Joe Ellen. Because Joe Ellen is the one that brought the rumor that, not rumor, because they admitted to it, that Rula's husband cheated on her because Rula's husband's mistress posted a picture of them online. So I don't understand why Rula's mad at Joe Ellen, but she claims that she's mad at Joe Ellen for spreading this information around the island and for telling the friend group about it. But my thing is, if the lady posted it on social media, why are you mad at the wrong person, Rula? You're mad at the wrong person. So Joe Ellen apparently was speaking about their marriage and her husband's affair. Joe Ellen had photos of Rula's husband with the mistress. They show us a picture of the lady on the lap, but they hide her face. Rula says that Joe Ellen was talking about it around town. Liz says that she's been hearing echoes. That's what she said. She's been hearing echoes about Brian, Rula's husband, cheating with this woman. Rula says that she basically throws in Liz's face that you've had issues with Jerry. Rula says that Liz has done her thing and Jerry has done his thing. And she says in her confessional, she was just like, you could read between the lines in regards to that. And I'm like, okay, why are you throwing Liz under the bus? Right now we're talking about your husband. But she's pointing out, she's like, things happen. You've been through something before, but you stayed with your husband. Okay. Rula points out that Liz doesn't have her own kids as an excuse as to why Liz may not understand where she's coming from. In regards, I guess, maybe staying in the marriage for the kids. And that ticks off Liz because Liz is just like, what are you trying to say? Because I didn't produce, like she physically shows, because I didn't produce these children that I don't understand. And Rula's like, I didn't mean it that way. I wasn't coming at you like, well, the way it came across to all of us was, why are you projecting onto Liz? Liz was just telling you what people are saying. She was being a good friend to you and bringing back the information to you. I also don't understand why you're mad at Joe Ellen, especially if this woman, the mistress, this roach, as you called her, you're mad at the wrong person, Rula. You're mad at the wrong person. But Liz says Rula is acting like this happened just last summer. Liz is like, she's like, come on, Rula. People are still saying that it's still going on. Rula says, bring me the information. I don't have any of that information. Nothing's happening. So part of me, because when we learn a little bit more about Rula later on in the episode, Rula runs a financial planning firm, and her husband is a podiatrist. And look, podiatrist, I'm sure he does well for himself. But when she says she runs a financial planning firm, I said, oh, so she probably makes a lot more money than her husband. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, if she's making more money, is it cheaper to keep him? she doesn't want to divorce him. I don't know. Or could she just be, very, like we've seen other people. We've seen with Teresa Giudice for a period of time look the other way when it came to questions about her husband's fidelity. Is that what we're watching? Very possible. Very, very possible. So, before we get to Rula at home, we have this next scene with Kelsey and Alicia, which I can appreciate. Alicia makes me laugh. So Alicia goes over Kelsey's home. We were just talking about Kelsey interacting with her live-in housekeeper. Kelsey says that Alicia is so Rhode Island. And Alicia says, she's like, I don't like to drive on the highways. She's like, I ran over a woman once. And the producer's like, you ran over a woman? She's like, yeah, I ran over a woman. And then she moves on. Alicia, you ran over a woman? Can you give us more context to that? Alicia really is going to be like the light, fun energy. She doesn't want to have a problem with anybody. She randomly says things where you're like, okay. Miriam says that very similar to Jennifer Aiden, blaming the messenger. But you know what we're not going to get from Rula? We're not going to get nasty. I don't think we're going to get like that. I don't think we're going to get that from Rula ever. So, we find out a little bit more about Alicia running over a woman. Yeah, Miss Melamesh ran over a woman. That's what she said. We had no more contact. She ran over a woman. Okay, she ran over a woman. So then they discussed the rumors about Rula and the conversation that she had with that Kelsey had with Rula. Speaking of Rula, we go to Rula's house. Rula says that she doesn't live in Cranston like Joe Ellen. She much rather live in Lincoln, where she lives. Okay. She grew up in Providence, the capital. She says she's one of the only female boat captains in Rhode Island. She's like, she's a boss. She runs her own financial firm. Her husband is a podiatrist. And she admits that her husband checked one of the 3 boxes of tall, dark, and handsome. I guess the handsome part. Here's the thing. She says that he checked one of the boxes. He's not tall. He's not dark. We've seen your husband, Rula. He's not handsome. But she said he checks off one of the 3 boxes. He didn't check off any of the boxes. So why exactly did she marry him? Well, she says that their cultures were very similar because, she's Lebanese and Syrian, and he's Italian. So she said they're very, very similar in a way. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm starting to be like, is it cheaper to keep them? Kind of thing. Because she sits down with her husband and she's like, the group is talking about this. I don't know why they're constantly bringing this up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and he said, that happened last year. But the echoes in the streets of Rhode Island are saying that he still is cheating with the same woman. Funky says he's handsome to her. Well, apparently. Kai says he's adorable at best. He's not even adorable. Come on. I will give Joe Giudice adorable. I'm not going to give Brian adorable. Joe Giudice, I'll give adorable. I'm not going to give Bryce adorable. Nope. No. And when I say Joe Giudice adorable, I'm saying, like, if I'm going to call someone adorable, I'm not saying that he's actually adorable. But if I had to choose between the two and say which one is adorable, I'm going to say Joe Giudice. Okay? Anyway. Very Fire says, open to interpretation, I guess. I mean, that goes for, when people, Foxy says, nope, he ain't. Foxy says, nope, he ain't. Oh, wait, that's right. You're right. Perfect Aura says, she says, handsome to me. Handsome to me, because she knows. She knows. Handsome to me. Taurus Moon says, all those men on this show is meh. The only person that probably is actually good looking is probably Jared. Jared can look a little weird to me in certain pictures, but in person, he's actually better looking. That jawline is jawlining. The other person I don't think is bad looking, but he's not on the show. He's not on the show is Kelsey's, sometimes man. Like, I don't think he's bad looking in a way. Look, in a way. Got some small teeth, though. Funny, you got a funny mouth. No lips. He's not bad. He remind me of like an older looking, or not even older looking. He kind of remind me of Mauricio in a way. He got a full head of hair. He got a full head of hair. Right there. You see that? Mm-hmm. Widow's Peak. Mm-hmm. Chocolate Soul says, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You're right. You know, people always say that when we talk about somebody that might be funny looking. Yeah, Wave Key says Jared is cute, but that jawline is strong. But some people like a strong jawline. Like, I'm working on my jawline. Look, some people like a strong, and Ashley has a very strong jawline too. Verify said chiclets. Chocolate says not Mauricio. Kinda when you wink your eyes a little bit. Just wink your eyes a little bit. Wink your eye. Look, squint your eyes. Squint your. I'm gonna put the photo up. Everyone, squint your eyes. Let me put this photo back up. Squint your eyes. Hold on. Squint your eyes. Take a sip of this vodka. All right. Take a puff of this puff pass. And there you go, Mauricio. Mm-hmm. Take squint your eyes. Take a shot of vodka. Mm-hmm. And a hallucinogenic, okay? All right, moving on. You know what I've been watching? Speaking of guys with a good head of hair. You know I've been watching, what's that show? Love Story? The John F. Kennedy and Carolyn Bessette story. I've been watching it over the weekend. Like, little by little, I've been watching it. Now, he's handsome. They got a good guy to play JFK Jr. R show says that, hold on, where'd it go? This guy's nose is larger. I see it. Well, okay. You guys are hilarious. Lexi says Mauricio would not approve. Y'all are our best. All right. When did y'all lose y'all virginity? That's what I want to know. I didn't see anyone telling us. Thank you so much, LN. LN says Kemp is fine. No squinting, drinking, or puffs required. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will take it. Monique, I've been into Paradise. I've talked about Paradise on the Club Kempire. I haven't talked about season 2, but I talked about season 1. I love Paradise on Hulu. I can't wait for season 3 now. Such a good series on Hulu, Paradise. Shout out to, and I just realized it was from the same people that did This Is Us. That's why they wanted Sterling K. Brown to be in this. Such a phenomenal show. Elle says, yes, the JFK Jr. actor is fine. Have you seen his curly hair in real life? No. He is very good looking. Very good looking. NYC DMP says lost virginity at 18. Okay. Virgo Leo Cap says 15. Way of Keith says I love mine at 21. We're not fast over here. Wow, you sound a little judgmental. Keith. Keith, but you only 20 something years old, so that wasn't that long ago. Funky says it's not Kempire After Dark. That's why. We talked about when y'all lost y'all virginity. We were judging each other. Okay. JFK Jr. was fine too. That's why I feel like it was good, very good casting who they got, and he's a good actor. For me, he's a really good actor. Doris Moon says none of your business. Spoken like a real Taurus. So none of your business. T says she lost her virginity at 29. 29. That's late in life. Paula says 17. SG says 21. 20. Gigi says 23. Nicole says 20. Burn says 17. Okay. Ooh, Virgo says definitely judgmental coming from a fellow Virgo here. Ooh. I'm gonna lay off the Virgos today because you guys got it really hard yesterday. We lay hard on the Leos today. All right, let me get to the other parts of the episode. So they end up doing their group event. They're going to the winery. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. We've been recapping. I will add the timestamps later today. So the group ends up going to this winery. they meet up with each other at Alicia's, and everyone gathers into the Sprinter. Alicia has to get her snack. She's like, I need to have a snack. I need to have my crackers, just because I get nauseous. I need to have my Fig Newtons. Figs are in it, so it's healthy. I love her. She's hilarious. She's like, and she sees Ashley get onto the Sprinter, and Ashley's wearing this very interesting outfit. She's like, I think it's like a folklore that she's wearing. I think it's a folklore. I'm like, oh, what? Is she trying to say folklore? Folklore? That's what she says. So Alicia says the winery machines, once they get to the winery, she's like, these look like the machines that they used to make heroin. I've been watching Breaking Bad. That's what it looks like. Hilarious. I can't. She makes me laugh. Okay. So Alicia, then they go out to look at the vineyards, and in the vineyards they see the grapes and stuff like that. I've been to multiple vineyards. Don't ask me why. I've been to multiple vineyards, and she's like, they're like tomatoes. And Joellen's like, those are not tomatoes. Those are grapes. You're at a vineyard. Honestly, the two of them, I kind of want to see more of them together because I think they're both naturally funny. I want to see them together, Alicia and Joellen. So Alicia, Kelsey tells Joellen as they're going to go sit down that she invited Rula, and Joellen's just like, what? Why'd you invite her? And so Joellen says she doesn't understand why Rula's even mad at her. So she explains the details of what happened with that. So she got her hands on this photo of Rula's husband, and she brought the information to Liz, and Liz brought the information to Rula. But Joellen is pissed at Rula because she turned on her and called her job. So Rula is a Karen. So Rula and her husband called Joellen's job and try to get her fired. On what grounds? That your husband was cheating and I shared a photo? On what ground? Like, that was very Karen behavior, Rula. So they try to get her fired, and she's like, I pay for everything in my house. My husband pays for the mortgage. I pay for everything else. Oh. I was like, So I have to say I'm on Joellen's side with this because clearly, Rula, your husband was cheating. Clearly, your husband was cheating. You already admitted that he was cheating. Why are you mad at Joellen? I don't understand why you're so mad at Joellen. So they go to sit down, and Joellen says that the picture was shared by the mistress on social media. So they end up talking about Rula's husband and things like that at the table. Rula, who was supposed to be there later on in the scene, FaceTimes and says she can't. She was at the urgent care for 2 hours. She's not feeling well. Blah 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 blah. Miriam says the picture was posted on Instagram. Again, why are you mad at Joellen? It was posted on social media. Okay. So, again, another funny Alicia moment for me. Alicia says her husband's a foot doctor, but I think he was doing more than rubbing foots. And then there's a slight pause. You want some cheese? I can't. Alicia makes me giggle. Because I feel like this is really who she is. Okay. Sidebar. Okay, no, we'll get to that in a second. Guys, you just joined us. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Do not forget to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Speaking of supporting your channel, today is brought to you by another one of our sponsors. We're so privileged. Shout out to Rhode. I know you're probably tired of hearing people say, new year, new me. However, it can be a new year and a new you. Everyone is trying to get back into the gym. They're trying to do some weight loss things. You may have also heard of GLP-1s. Well, our friends over at Rhode has gotten you covered with the new GLP-1 pill. The pill is a new, more convenient and approachable way to GLP-1s if you've been thinking about it. A self-administered shot can be a bit intimidating. But now there's a pill that delivers comparable results. If you've been thinking about getting on a GLP-1, Rhode might be the way to do it. They have 100% online care, access to clinically proven, FDA-approved medications, free insurance checks, side effect management, dosing support, and more. Rhode offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. The new GLP-1 pill has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and packs comparable results to the shot. It can help patients lose 14% of their body weight in a year on average. This is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or overweight plus a weight-related condition with diet and exercise. You may have also seen Serena Williams talk about collaborating and endorsing RHORI as well. As a world-class athlete, she also wanted to drop pounds after having children. If I had needed this particular option, this is what I would use. A pill versus a shot? Why not? Go to ro.co/Kempire to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on RHORI. That's ro.co/Kempire to get started on RHORI. Go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medication. More details on your discount and more will be available in the description. And we're back. Shout out to all of our sponsors. I saw what Keith said in the chat. What is Keith's comment? Wave Keith says, Kempire plans to travel all summer. He's not playing with these sponsorships this year. I know that's right. We have been blessed by all the sponsors, and we have some really great sponsors coming up for later this month as well. So I appreciate all of you that have been engaging with the sponsors as well. Again, all the information on our sponsors will be available in the description. So shout out to our sponsors. I'm grateful because I know some of you think the ads here on YouTube, like that's not going to be able to keep us elevating the brand and what we're trying to do. You want me to come see you in your city, you want us to do more, you want more content. Well, we need sponsors. Money has to be able to allow us to do those things. So thanks to everyone that has been checking out our sponsors and taking advantage of all of our sponsors. We appreciate all of them. Lakia says, that's not right to report someone to HR when it had nothing to do with their job. I agree. It's very caring behavior. Like, why would Rula and her husband reach out to her job? Maybe because they have influence in Rhode Island. Well, apparently she didn't lose her job over it, but I understand why she would be upset, Joellen. Wave Key says, Rula was in urgent care for liabilities. Not liabilities. Wave Key says, so what was he rubbing in regards to Rula's husband? Hope Andrea says, hey Kempire, hey chat, I'm gonna catch the replay. Shout out to everyone that's part of the replay crew. We appreciate Miss Mellon Magic. He's touching more than feet, and apparently he still is. So this affair apparently is not over, according to what Liz is saying in those streets. Paint These Wings, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. Paint These Wings says, Kemp, I don't know if you remember me, but I was laid off last week. Yes, I remember you, Paint These Wings. I sent a Super Chat and I found a new job making more money. Won't the universe do it? Maybe I'll start manifestation courses like Amanda. OMG, Paint These Wings. Congratulations, everyone. Applause for Paint These Wings. I remember you saying this last week. Wow, look how quick the universe is. Okay. Yes, Paint These Wings. Congratulations. And you see what you did? You trusted. You sent a super chat. And despite, some people get scared when they lose their job, so they don't want to spend anything. They don't want to do anything. But you put your trust into the universe. And look, you got it back tenfold, making more money. Yes. And thank you for sharing some of that money over here. Burn, thank you so much for another super chat. Burn says, you're not wrong. Lindsay is right 60% of the time. Oh, damn. No. Oh, Lord. Way of Keith, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Way of Keith says, truth be told, most would stay in a marriage with a cheating man if they're rich. Ruler just wants us to mind our business so that he can cheat in peace. Rosie also reminds me of Bryn. She's one to watch. Don't you talk about Rosie. Rosie's our Taurus sister. Okay? Don't you talk about Rosie. I actually kind of like Rosie. Not everyone can be turned up. She is definitely a grounding force in this group in regards to she's not trying to get into all the mess, even though Joellen is trying to bring her into the mess. How do you guys feel? Because at the end of this episode, they revisit the conversation and Liz calls out Joellen for being the one to bring up Kelsey's family situation and her relationship situation. And Rosie's just like, you're the one who mentioned that Kelsey was going through something. Here's where I disagree with Rosie. She mentioned that Kelsey was going through something. That didn't mean, not me freezing. Uh-oh. No, not the wire getting one. Lord. But you know what it is, y'all? Maybe I have to change this other wire. Please and hold. Police and hold. Ooh. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and mind you, we made it through the entire live. We were good. We were good until we weren't. All right. Ah, Lord. Let me see. Studio camera. There we go. Can you guys see me? All right. As I get this together. Oh, true. There we go. All right. As I figure this out, I'm going to put this up. Guys, if you just joined us, we're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of... I don't think it's The Wire this time, y'all, because if it was The Wire, I would have to go down where I normally go down. There was something with this particular, my stream deck. All right, let me see if I can do this. Hold on, y'all. Let me bring this back up. Oh, I have to turn that thing on. Trudy says Kemp just bragged about The Wire. Well, no, I don't think it's The Wire, y'all. I think it was my stream deck. Things happen though, tech-wise. We're live. You know, things happen. Is what it is, and we're almost done. We've been live for over 2 hours. Wave Key says I like this side angle. It gives Kempire thoughts. Oh wait, here we are. Camera. Hey y'all. All right, you know I'm not gonna even fix it right now because we're almost done. Jennifer Lala says The Wire has risen. You know what? What I've been meaning to do, because you remember I used to have another camera. I mean, I do have multiple cameras, but a better quality camera. I just can't find that other camera. But I'm going to set up another camera for moments like that. That way I can go boom or go boom, you know? Anyway, so back to this. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the... Let me look here. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Let me just finish this up because I was almost done. I was almost done with our recap. We won't be taking callers because it's Tuesday Takeover. We normally don't take callers anyway. All right. Yes, I talked about Quad already, y'all. Check the replay. Rewind back. We did talk about Quad. We're on talking about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So the ladies end up playing a game, and this is where we get to learn a little bit more about them. Normally, I hate these housewives games, reality TV games, because they usually are just silly games that we probably don't play in real life as grown adults. But I felt like this particular game allowed us to learn a little bit more about the ladies. So this is where we found out Ashley lost her virginity at 29. Kelsey lost her virginity at 14, which makes me a little concerned about the trauma that Kelsey's probably gone through over the years. All right. Rosie denies having an affair with a basketball coach. I guess because that was some sort of rumor out there that Rosie had an affair with a basketball coach. But then she takes some of you ladies be making these remarks. Okay, Toya Bush Harris. She says Rich is barely her type. Her current her current husband, she said he's barely her type. Wow. I was like, not that dig at the husband, but he is old. He's a little bit older, but she's like, that, you know, that's not true. Joellen denies being a swinger because that's the other rumor, that Joellen is a swinger, but she does admit to having a threesome with her husband, Jerry. Okay, but she says she's not a swinger. Kelsey denies being in a polygamous relationship, but then confirms that she does have someone that she's considering, like that she's dating. I was confused by that. I was like, so what is the situation then? Does John, does John know about your relationship? I mean, clearly you know about his relationship that he has in Miami, where is 6 months out of the year. So I find that to be interesting. But then, you know, again, there are rumors that Kelsey was a lady of the night. But is she still technically a lady of the night? Because are you just there? Are you just a kept woman? Like, this is not really a relationship, but he's paying you for your lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I'm sort of wondering if, look, like, what are we talking about right now? Is that what it is? And is that the similar situation with the other lady? Is this just a nicer way of saying you're the lady of the night, but you get to live in the house? Okay, fine. But this has been going on for 10 years. But she says that she has another relationship. But she's at this point in her life where she wants something more. She wants a real relationship. She wants someone that's there 24/7. I can understand that. She's also getting older. She's about to be 30 years old. She probably wants to have kids and things like that. And probably with John, she can't. She can't have those prospects are not real for her. So I thought that was interesting, but she says she's not in a polyamorous relationship. So Rosie looks up on ChatGPT, the difference. I mean, either way, girl, that man ain't yours. I mean, you're in some sort of open relationship. All right. SW says right. It's definitely transactional. All right. Look. All right. Oh, so Joellen, this is where Joellen denies bringing up Kelsey and what she's been going through. But then they flash back to Joellen saying, Kelsey's going through a lot. I didn't take that as an open door for Rosie to ask about Kelsey's relationship. Yes, she could be going through a lot, but that doesn't mean that I'm bringing up or talking about her polyamorous relationship. I felt like that was a bit of a reach. I thought that was a reach. So Alicia doesn't know how to write English, and she writes a question for Liz, and basically she was asking Liz if she cheated on Jerry with this guy Dino. So this is where we learn a little bit more about Liz's friendship with Dino. She says Dino's like a little brother to her. She's okay with pretending like, these rumors are true, but she's like, it's not true. But she says Dino's like a little brother to her and that they had an unconventional relationship. So the rumor was that Liz, and for those that don't know who Liz is, let me show you her picture again. For the people that don't know who Liz is, this is Liz, the one that's friends with Dolores, but also looks like Dolores. Okay. So she claims that her and Dino are just friends. However, the rumors are that when her husband was away for months or weeks at a time, that she would have an affair on him with Dino. Only for us to find out that Dino's in legal trouble. That's the word on the street, that Dino's in legal trouble. Like serious criminal charges are being brought against him. And also allegations that he's a part of the New England Mafia. What? I mean, are we surprised? Not really, because Real Housewives of Rhode Island reminds us very much of Real Housewives of New Jersey. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this situation? Guys, we're almost at 700 likes. Keep liking the video. It's easy for you way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Don't forget, you can also hear the Kempire podcast version of this live recap where we add special episodes and special versions. We'll have a cleaned up version of this particular episode on the Kempire podcast. I also dropped by the What Else Is Going On podcast, aka I Go, as regular Robin would say. We Go podcast with Taria Faizan. We talked about a lot of things in pop culture and politics. It's a very different conversation than you guys are used to me having here on this channel. So if you want to see a different side of myself and you want to get familiar with my conversation with Taria, be sure to check that out. You can see it on YouTube. I've had it pinned on the YouTube live chat, but I'll also add it to the description as well. You can also hear it on any podcast platform where you listen to podcasts. So that's the What Else Is Going On podcast conversation. So be sure to check that out. Miss Parker, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Parker says, she says, shout out to Kempire for giving us a Tuesday takeover. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Miss Parker. Let me say thank you for another super chat. Maloney, thank you so much for the super chat. Maloney says, I'm loving Real Housewives of Rhode Island so far. It's like Real Housewives of New Jersey and Mob Wives all in one. Not Mob Wives. I mean, there's only one wife that seems to have some sort of mob connection, and that's Liz. Are we surprised by that? Not really. Not really. Not really at all. All right. Excommunicado says, Kempire, did you listen to Ray's new album with your music background? I think you should really enjoy it and share your thought. I haven't listened to it yet, but I did see that it came out. Congratulations to Ray. She has the #1 album in the UK as well. So congratulations to Ray, a real singer, Angel says, what did Angel says? Kempire, aren't you glad you keep the studio tidy so you can shoot from angles unlike Porsha in her kitchen on her YouTube channel? Ooh, Porsha, I didn't say it. That was Angel. But you're right. And lucky you guys, and I'm about to get this studio organized too, like really organized. I'm bringing organizers into the studio to organize it properly. So it's going to be even more organized, but you're right. I'm glad that I do. You guys, I mean, it's a little bit of a mess. A little bit of a mess. You can see Brandy's book behind me as well. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here, but I want to say thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down in the live chat and in the comment section. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at teamkempire.com/join. Also, thank you to our subscribers and those of you watching in the bushes. We appreciate you. Replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on everything that we talked about in today's live. Oh my goodness, we were live for almost 2.5 hours. We had a lot to talk about. I can't promise Tuesday Takeover will happen every single Tuesday, but here we are. Be sure to check out some of the things that you may have missed over the weekend here on the channel and on the podcast, and stay tuned for more. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed today and turn on your notifications so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Again, all the information on our sponsors will be available in the description. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I need to go have something to eat. I'm hungry. Bye, y'all. Here we go now.